Look, Suge Knight denies ever calling Big Meech, the Meech's Flannery, a rat. He say that's his partner, man. It's always been his partner. He ain't never said he ratted. He don't know nothing about no Tammy Collins, no none of that. Let him tell it. Big Meech is a stiff nigga. You know what I mean? Let's get into the content, fam.
So at the time, first of all, shout out to Meech. He home. That's the homie, right? So even though somebody cut the Athena before I get into that, but I don't gotta say it. Meech know what it is. When motherfuckers saying I said he a rat, never said Meech a rat. I said the ones they say is a rat. They chopped it up any way they want to. Who cares? It is what it is. Well, we go to these awards, right? So me and the homies at the awards, and I don't know them. If I did know them, I didn't know who they was when I seen them at the club, you know. So to get to our table, we got to pass their table, and they was blocking the aisleway. You know what I mean? So the homies, shit, we had homies and from red and blue. It's the homies. Everybody from the land. You know, the city ain't no joke. You know. So when they in the way, the homies start pushing, getting on them. So it's gonna get active. You know what I mean? So it's gonna really be active. So Meech like, hold up. He told me, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Straight. I tell the homies, go to the table. Let me holler at this dude. And Meech said, hey, you gotta celebrate. When I tell you this, you're gonna want to have a toast with me. I'm like, shit, I'm waiting for it. He said, it's a motherfucker that, you know, you don't like, and I'm quite sure none of your homies like, but I'm the reason they say he ain't here. So, shit, we poured some champagne and toast to it. You know what I mean? So the next day, I'm on parole still. So I gotta like get back to the city and be there before my parole check in with me if I'm not. That's a violation. So I leave all the homies at the hotel, you know what I mean? I went over there, just me and a bitch, you know what I mean? And the car drove us over. These motherfuckers, I ain't never seen so many motherfuckers in one house in my motherfucking life. This motherfucker got shit. I lost count. He had so many niggas with him, you know? I like to get down. I like that ghetto shit, you know? So me and him chopping it up. He tell me what he doing, what he be doing, and all this shit. So we got more into details, and we became good friends, like a real brotherhood. You know what I mean? And they were shocked because I didn't bring none of the homies. I came by myself and with a bitch. So from that point, we talking, and he wanted to ask me. He wanted, we was hanging out. I said, no, I gotta go because when you fly private at a certain time, you don't gotta be there on time, but the pilot only can, if they don't make a cutoff point, I think it's like 12 hours or whatever. If you don't get on the plane around that time, they gotta wait and go to sleep for 8 hours. They don't watch it if they sleep, but the rule is they supposed to sleep for 8 hours, then they can fly. They're not supposed to go over the time limit of their sleep. So I said, man, shit, if we gotta do this, they calling me. A month. I said, oh shit, man, I gotta get out of here. I'm on parole and all kind of shit. He was like, no, what's up? I said, well, I'm gonna miss all my flights. He was like, shit, I can get somebody right now to get you some first class tickets for everybody, right? I said, shit, you better cancel that shit. Nigga, we ain't flying motherfucking commercial. Motherfucker on a PJ. You know what I mean? He's like, what? I said, private jet. I said, but I'm gonna miss the cutoff point. He said, well, look, stay chop it up with me and this eating, whatever else, right? He said, shit, you missed the cutoff point. I'll order you a plane. I'm like, I don't know him, so we talking. I said, look, man, I don't got time for no fake bigotry. You know what I mean? He said, what you mean by that? I said, I'm on parole. Shit. If I don't get my ass to this thing, they ain't gonna be able to fly the private plane. So now I'm gonna get there late and I'm gonna be fucked. He said, well, it's a private plane. I'll do that. So I ain't never seen a motherfucker, like I said. I'm thinking he bullshitting again. So I tell him how much it costs. He said, I'll take care of it. This this motherfucker, Meech kept it gangster. He was like, how much you got in your pocket? One nigga said, I got $5,000. How much you got? $10,000. How much you got? He went around the whole room grabbing bread and then took money out of his pocket and said, yeah, this should cover the plane. So we always been straight. Matter of fact, when he was going through his little ordeal, I even went to go visit him, when he was in Detroit. You know what I mean? So shit. Shout out to him.
Look, I don't know. Shout out Suge Knight. I got it from here, partner. But look, I don't know if Big Meech snitched or not. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you like this: does it really matter? After you do 20 years in prison, nigga, nothing else matters. How much time a nigga gotta do to get your respect? I'm gonna answer that question for you. None. You know what I mean? Real shit, cause your respect don't mean a thing. You know what I mean, man? How you feel about it, nigga? Do you really think that matters? Do you think it matters? Like my niggas from UK will ask you. Do you think it matters? It don't, man. It don't, man. Meech is paid. You know what I mean? Other than being publicly embarrassed. He faced the humiliation ritual, so to say. Nigga, that BMF story is still gold, nigga. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They want that. The people want to see it. The next season gonna be on Stars. 50 say that's the last one, but I don't believe it, bro. It's all type of power spinoffs coming on Stars. They're gonna renegotiate their contract. Nigga, what are you gonna do? Stick that show on a free app? It just ain't gonna work out, nigga. How are you gonna pay the actors? You gotta understand what's really at play, nigga. Shout out Big Meech. Like I said, who is Tammy Collins? Everybody wanna know. Blue DaVinci has been talking about it. Meech, every time you see him, he's playing the stand still challenge. You know what I mean? He's never saying nothing. Look, loose lips sink ships anyway. You know what I mean? Let them think whatever they want to think about you, fam. That's one thing, bro. That's one thing. You gotta have a armor that's unpierceable, bro. You can't let these niggas know that you got chinks in your armor and all they gotta do is say some shit about you and it's gonna make you emotional. Now the internet is a motherfucker, you know what I mean? Yeah, the internet is a motherfucker, but ain't nobody approaching Meech and them guys like that in public, bro. It's just on the internet. Let's just be honest. Don't let the content go to your head, bro. Yeah, don't let the content go to your head. Shout out Meech, bro. He ain't got to say nothing. Like I said, the BMF story is still gold. You can't take away the shit a nigga done. Just like you can't take away what Nino Brown done, Frank Lucas. You can't take away from they read it. Yeah, they all do that. Yeah, all of them do it. Even the mafia bosses. Everybody gonna tell something. You know what I mean? That's just the God's honest truth, bro. The streets are a myth. It's not what you thought it was. Yeah, everybody is about protecting their own ass. They're gonna give you somebody to keep them on the streets or to get on the streets a little sooner. And it's just life, fam. You got to learn how to deal with it, because that's what's going on, bro. Your best friend, the closest nigga to you would do you and try to screw you, backstab you in the back and then act like he never knew you. He could be the same nigga to switch, playing ball 1 minute, but he really just a bitch. You know, it's just being honest, bro. Drop it in the comments, Scars from the Playground, like, share, subscribe. Shout out the Meeches, Big Meech, Lil Meech. Nigga, however y'all get paid, just keep getting paid. Fuck all that other shit, because it doesn't matter. I'm just being honest, just being real. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. Drop it in the comments, Scars from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe, and hype me up, fam. Don't leave this bitch without hyping me up. I'm talking to you, nigga. And you like, who he's talking to? Bro, I'm talking to you. Or sis, I'm talking to you, bro. Sis, I'm talking to you. Hype the video up. Hype me up. Like, share, subscribe. In that order. please, you know what I mean? Real shit. And if you got any comments that can't go in the comments, scarsfromtheplayground@gmail.com. You could reach me there. Like, share, subscribe, nigga. Peace.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.